Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to another video. So I wanted this video out before October, but I live in a time void and then didn't realize it was October already. I literally wrote the layout of the script September 30 and I was like, yeah, I can have this done before October, like an idiot. But anyways, here we are, the video a week into October. In this video, I'm going to talk about all the scandals surrounding Inktober and why I personally decided to not participate this year. All the links to my sources are in the descriptions as always, and if there's any information that I missed or got wrong, please let me know kindly on the comments. I am only human and I try my best. Now, if you for some reason don't know what Inktober is because you've been living in a hole on the ground, can I please join you? I'm small, I don't occupy a lot of space. No, but seriously, just in case, I'm going to start by telling you what Inktober is about and how it all started, just so we get a background on it and kind of see why it blew up over the years as it did. So, what is Inktober? According to the official Inktober website, Inktober is a month-long art challenge created by artist Jake Parker in 2009 that is focused on improving skill and developing positive habits. Every day for a month of October, anyone participating in the Inktober challenge creates an ink drawing and posts it online. Every year, a prompt list is posted on the Inktober website with a word for every day of the month. The prompt list is not a requirement to participate, since the only thing you do to participate other than draw is to put the hashtag Inktober on the caption in social media. That is why many people choose not to follow it or come up with their own prompt list. It started as being just traditional ink drawings, but over the years, it has evolved to include every medium possible. This challenge became huge over the years, so much so that in October 2015, over 1 million Inktober drawings were posted on Instagram. 1 million, wow. Now let's talk more about the artist that created it, Jake Parker, since all the scandals that surrounded Inktober start with him. I say all, but it's only two, I think, so I'm exaggerating a little bit, I feel. I mean, it felt exaggerated. It's not one, it's two, so all the scandals, I guess. According to his website, I'm gonna quote it here because he talks in first person and I'm too lazy to paraphrase it right now. I'm a New York Times best-selling illustrator who started drawing long before I could form full sentences. Raised on cultural diet of comic books, cartoons, and Lego, I dropped out of college to pursue a career in the animation industry. Simultaneously, I also illustrate several books and comics for the publishing world. In 2009, I started the popular online art challenge Inktober. I'm the co-founder of SPSLearn.com that teaches thousands of people how to become a professional illustrator like myself. A husband and father of 5, I currently work out of my home studio in Gilbert, Arizona. Now, I'm not going to go in more depth because there's really not a lot out there and I don't think it really matters anyway. Just wanted to lay a little background on here so we know who we're talking about. Now let's start talking about the downfall of Inktober, and this happened in 2018 when Jake Parker decided to trademark Inktober. This all came to light for me and many others by a tweet from Twitter user at KikiDoodleTweet back in December 2019. So I thought I would go back and look at it and see what it said. The first tweet reads, "Attention all artists, no longer participate in hashtag Inktober. Jake Parker, person who started the tag, has trademarked it, and their lawyer is shutting down anyone who is selling things like sketchbooks of their own art using the word." In this thread, she mentions how Inktober started as a public tag, and it was only thanks to the thousands of artists participating that he decided to make a profit out of it. Then advises others to not promote the hashtag since it might make someone else money with your own work. This was because Parker's lawyer sent a takedown notice to an artist named Dane Alt for using Inktober. Dane actually responded to this thread saying this: "As the person who started this, I can say that it was Jake. I contacted Jake to make sure that it was him and not someone trying to squat the TM, and he told me his agents and lawyers are clearing the marketplace in preparations for a book he's publishing next year." Artist Kristen Kimmel Evans posted a message they received from Amazon about a book they had published about their own Inktober art. The message reads, "Hello, we received a notice from a third claiming that your use of the Inktober in the following book you submitted for sale through Amazon violates their trademark rights." So this was happening to many artists, as you can see. And I'm sure you can find more artists and their testimonies online if you look for them. Jake Parker then posted an official response to all of this on his page. Now, I'm gonna read this in its entirety because I know a lot of people are still either participating in Inktober or selling their own Inktober artwork. So this way you can get an idea on how to properly use it so you don't get a claim. A statement about Inktober. Hi. Back in 2009, I created the Inktober Art Challenge as a way for artists to get better at drawing, find other cool artists, grow an audience for their work. Inktober is and will always be free to participate in. The hashtag is free to use, as are all hashtags. Every artist is free to sell the drawings they made during Inktober if they want to. Contrary to misstatements recently made on social media, I am not trying to stop any artist from profiting from their own work, and I am certainly not trying to steal your work, nor receive back payment from work that has been sold. I love the Inktober community, and I'm so grateful for the outpouring of creativity that happens every year in October. It's been amazing to think that something I used to do by myself has gotten so big. Since 2009, Inktober has grown into a worldwide event with hundreds of thousands of people participating each year and millions of drawings being posted online during the month of October. Every year, Inktober takes more and more of my time, resources, and attention to lead the challenge and engage with the community. However, as the Inktober challenge got bigger and bigger with each passing year, it started being invaded by individuals outside of the community trying to make a quick buck. These people are not artists like you and me, and have profited of the popularity of the challenge with no concern for the Inktober community. One of my biggest worries is that something I've created as a challenge that promotes creativity and community could be used to promote hate or violence. For example, one of these people could sell horrible racist Inktober shirt. That not only affects me, but people could then associate racism with the whole Inktober community. As the creator of the challenge, I feel responsible to legally protect it. I could have let these bad actors win, eventually taking over Inktober and diluting its purpose, or I could have chosen to fight back. I have chosen to fight back using my intellectual property rights, which is why I registered the trademark that I have been using since 2009. It is not my intention, and never was my intention, to hinder the very artists that make Inktober so popular or marginalize the creators that Inktober was intended to support. I did ask my lawyers to take action against those wrongfully profiting of the Inktober brand. I did so to protect the integrity of the brand and to protect the investment made by my sponsors, which helped make Inktober possible year after year. And in the spirit, I encourage all artists to protect their creativity. If you're a pirate making money from the sale of Inktober merchandise such as t-shirts, mousepads, mugs, books, etc., and confusing the public into believing that you're somehow officially affiliated with or sponsored by me, my lawyer will contact you, and I make no apologies for this. Over the years, I have encouraged artists to sell the drawings they made during Inktober, to collect those drawings into books, or make prints out of them all and sell those too. I still think that's a great idea. If you're an artist, I'm not trying to stop you from participating in the Inktober challenge or even from selling your Inktober drawings. Yet there is a right way and a wrong way to reference Inktober. As a participating artist, you can reference Inktober in the sale of your drawings, but I'm asking you to do so in the following manner. Please don't use my Inktober logo. This is reserved for sponsors. Totally cool to use the word Inktober together with the year of participation, Inktober 2019 for example. Use Inktober plus year as subtitle, not as the leading title on the cover of your sketchbook. For example, it's okay to use subtitle based on Inktober 2019 prompts or similar reference. The public needs a way to distinguish my stuff from your stuff. It is no more complicated than that. My lawyers and I are in the early stages of this enforcement. It is possible that we might have to cast our initial nets too broadly in some cases and inadvertently block legitimate artists. This was certainly not our intention. If you believe that your use of Inktober is legit and consistent with my above request, again, please contact me. I will certainly work with you. Reckless rants on social media purpose. Currently, there's tons of misinformation floating around social media. I ask that if you're reading these, please help be part of the solution rather than perpetuating the problem. As artists, we're all in this together. I want all artists everywhere to have success with their work, and every artist has a right to protect the things they have worked hard to create. I will keep using the Inktober platform to inspire artists to draw and create, to spotlight artists who are doing amazing work, and to teach people to get better at drawing. I hope you'll join me. Thank you, Jake Parker. Now, a few things that rub me the wrong way, or I just don't understand from this statement. The part where he says that he doesn't want Inktober to promote racism or violence or hate or anything like that. Trademarking doesn't help that. People are still gonna do that, in my opinion. Trademarking doesn't help that at all, but that's just me. The same thing with pirating and making money. I talk more about this later. But the same about like all the people making money out of it and not being artists and just using the logo. I think he could have done something about that anyways. I talk more about that. I don't know what I'm talking about it now, but it just came to me like now we're reading this because I read this not a long time ago. I read this like a week ago. It just kind of like stood out to me. I think the part that also rubbed me the wrong way is saying like the part where he mentions the reckless rant on social media, saying they don't serve no constructive purpose. People wouldn't have known that this was happening if it weren't for the quote-unquote reckless rants on social media, because I'm pretty sure he didn't announce that he was trademarking this or saying anything about it other than he was making a book. So I feel like someone's butthurt. I'm sorry, but it just feels like it's referring to someone very specific here, a few people very specific here who were talking about this in social media, and calling them reckless rants just sounds like a little butthurt to me, in my opinion, because people wouldn't have known that this was happening if it weren't for those rants on social media. So that rubbed me the wrong way, but that's about it. Let's continue. Sorry I got off script, but I just wanted to talk about that. The problem that many saw with this is that not only was he screwing over many artists who had made Inktober gain popularity, but many people also expressed that they didn't feel comfortable giving free advertisement to something that was now a brand. Because that was the big issue also. It wasn't only that he was taking books and work from other artists, it's that Inktober wasn't just an internet challenge anymore. It was a brand, and supporting a brand is very different than promoting a free hashtag on the internet. Now here's the thing. I understand the need to want to protect your own work. I know I've got my own work stolen plenty of times before. But when it's punishing people who help you get there, it's when I have a problem with it. The potential of getting your artwork or stores taken down because of the trademark scared and angered tons of artists, including myself. I have put some of my Inktober's drawings for sale before, and I have used the hashtag Inktober, and I have used the title Inktober before. How was I supposed to know that I couldn't put Inktober in the title? How are we supposed to know that you can't use the name or the logo when it was advertised as something free we could all do? But anyways, I think Parker's response kind of appeased a lot of artists since now they knew they just had to be careful about the usage of it. Nonetheless, tons of artists who had already been straying from using Inktober because, like me, no offense, maybe a little offense, I always found Inktober prompts kind of boring, in my opinion. I'm sorry. They didn't inspire me. And instead, I prefer going for other prompt lists or just making my own prompt list. Even though I never finished an Inktober last year was for very personal reasons. I liked ideas like Drawtober, Witchtober. There's like tons of other things out there. Tons of alternatives keep popping up every year. So there's really no reason to keep using Inktober, but that's beside the point. All I'm saying is, like, some artists were like, who cares? And other artists were like, well, I was doing another thing anyways. And other artists were like, yeah, I'm gonna start doing something new, you know? But for me, the big problem of turning Inktober into a brand with yet to come, and as I said before, it's very different to use a free hashtag than to use a hashtag that is basically giving free advertisement to Jake Parker now. And I'm saying this because of what happened this year. Remember how I mentioned that the reason Parker got Inktober trademark was for a book that he was publishing? Well, this book, Inktober All Year Round, Your Indispensable Guide to Drawing with Ink, was supposed to be released this year, 2020. Except that artist Alfonso Dunn accused Jake Parker of plagiarizing his work on that book. In a video posted on his YouTube, Dunn claims that a good portion of Parker's new book, as well as its teaching methods, were all copied from his own book, Pen and Ink Drawing, A Simple Guide, which was published in 2015. Alfonso Dunn is a well-known black artist in the art community, so this video obviously angered a bunch of people. I encourage you all to watch Dunn's video on the matter for more details, which I linked in the description, because I rather you hear it from him than you hear it from me. Obviously, he's more informed than me. The similarities are undeniable though for me. It copies everything from technique to the layout of the book to the actual pictures in it. But yeah, watch the video so you can see Don comparing the book. For me, it's definitely not a mistake or a coincidence, but tons of people think otherwise, and I encourage you to make your own conclusions. So watch the video. So yeah, Don's video has received a lot of critique, as some people say that one artist can't claim that he has monopoly on the basic fundamentals, and also accuse him of it all being a publicity stunt. Others point out that both books are very similar to many other illustration courses and books offered online. In my opinion, it's just a lot more than basic fundamentals. The way the images are laid out, the terms used, and so much more is too similar to be a coincidence for me. Someone actually commented something I found very interesting on Don's video, because I'm not a big Jake Parker fan. Like, I don't see his art all the time, so I thought this was an interesting perspective. The comment says, "I hope this gets sorted out as soon as possible because it's really shameful. For me, the first red flag that you didn't even mention in your video is that Jake's inking style is not even that style you teach. How is he able to teach a style he never uses? For me, that's the key. He didn't teach how he inks, but how you ink. Very disappointed at Jake Parker, really. There's still a possibility that he outsourced the book and just stamped his name on it, but reality is often disappointing." So yeah, I don't know. I thought that was interesting, but as I said before, I don't know if this is true. I really don't know a lot about Jake Parker's art. Honestly, today was the most I've seen about his art. So I don't know if you know more about this. Let me know. The thing is, I don't think there's just one way to teach. Why even make a new book teaching art if you're just gonna copy what others have done before you? Seems to me like it was all a money grab from Parker's side, and I've thought that ever since he trademarked Inktober, to be honest. Anyways, Chronicle Books, the publisher, withheld the release of the book, which was supposed to be out September 15 after all this controversy. DeviantArt also canceled the 2020 Inktober Awards, a site-wide art event that was in collaboration with Parker. DeviantArt stated that it was in the best interest of their community and wanted their campaigns to reflect a mission of support and inclusivity. Parker denies all accusations on Twitter on a tweet that says the following: "As you have likely read, my plans to publish Inktober all year long in fourth quarter 2020 have become a point of controversy and much social media speculation. While the book has not yet even been released, a fellow artist reviewed excerpts from image of the book I posted online and accused me of copying his work. I want you to hear this directly from me. I have not plagiarized anyone's work. Of course, the books will both discuss similar topics, techniques, tools, steps to learning, etc. that have been common to the craft for decades. Unfortunately, the artist has made this a public issue rather than contacting me directly. I still welcome him to reach out to me independently. The publisher of my book is fully alerted to this matter, and together we are addressing the assertions. Because of potential legal aspects, I have been advised against going into any further detail at this time, although I am confident that my approach and work will be upheld. I will have much more to say. I ask for your patience and support, or at least that you withhold judgment until all the information is available. On a positive note, I am excited about the upcoming Inktober 2020 challenge, and I look forward to seeing all of the amazing art posted by fellow artists." I don't know, honestly, what to think about that. It's not an apology, it's just a statement, because he's not apologizing for anything. It's a statement. But anyways, in conclusion, I think it's up to everyone to decide whether they want to keep supporting Inktober and Jake Parker. Personally, I won't. There's just something about all of this that leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, from taking down the artwork from other artists and then Parker cleaning his hands and saying what all his lawyers doing, to allegedly stealing from a black artist. So about the trademark thing, was it really necessary to trademark it? I understand that people were using his logo for merch and they were just copying his logo, but I'm pretty sure he could have taken those down anyways if he really wanted to do it without having to trademark it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he made that logo, so that means it's his property without having to trademark it because it's his intellectual property. My very personal opinion, and this is my opinion, don't come for me, is that he thought he could get away with it with no backlash. He thought he could trademark it and take other artists' book out so that his was the only Inktober one available, and when there was backlash, then he was like, "No, that wasn't me, that was my lawyer, no worries, I'll clear it all up." But hey, that's just me. About copying a false Don's book, I think his video is very informative and I can see where he's coming from. As I said before, if this is all basic knowledge or whatever, then what's the point of making a book that already exists, you know? I would think that the point of making a book and using his newly trademarked name, Inktober, on it would be something new and maybe involve more of the social media aspect of it, or even involve other artists and their own techniques. Kind of seems weird to me that Inktober was a thing that, yes, was created by one man, but it would be nothing without the thousands of artists that elevated it to another level. And then he goes and publishes a book all about himself and his technique, which some people say that it's not even his technique at all. I'm just confused. But hey, maybe the book also has all that. I don't know. The book is not out, and I think it still doesn't have a date, if it's even coming out at all. It is currently unavailable on Amazon, and that's all I know. I don't know. I guess I just expected something more exciting and new than a book about fundamentals. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with a book about fundamentals. I love those books. But why even include the name Inktober in it? Maybe it's just me being weird about it. But let me know what you think. Do you think it was necessary to trademark Inktober? Do you think Parker copied the book? Do you think the book is just a money grab like I do? Let me know. Personally, I will not be participating in Inktober anymore. I don't feel like supporting that brand anymore, and as I said before, now it's a brand. It's not a hashtag, it's not a free challenge you can do on the internet. It's a brand. I also think that there's so many more interesting challenges and prompt lists other artists are putting out there. Why would I support this guy that I honestly, no offense, find kind of fishy? I don't know, there's just something about him I don't like, but that's just my personal opinion. I'm actually not participating in any monthly challenges anymore anyways, because they consume my life and are exhausting. I don't think my mental health can handle 30 consecutive days of art anymore, to be honest. Getting too old for this. I will be supporting other artists doing this on my Twitter and Instagram though, so you can follow me on those if you want. They're linked down below. Anyways, this is all I have for today. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. And I also want to thank my patrons for supporting me. And I'll see you next time. Have a good day, good night, and good fight. Bye.